to Drawing a Horse for Beginners. My name is Mindy, and today I'm going to be using a standing easel. You can use a flat surface or a standing easel, whatever you have available, whatever paper you have available is great. I'm using some quick newsprint, and I'm also using some willow charcoal. And you can use whatever you have available. You can use a pen, you can use graphite, you can use hard pressed charcoal. But for the purposes of doing a beginner horse, charcoal is really fun to use. You can erase it with your hand, you can smudge, you can add a little bit of tone and texture to your paper, and it's just a fun way and smooth way to start out drawing horses. I provided some reference photos here in the background of some quick sketches of horses that you can do 5-10 minutes. And they're just fun to get you in the habit of doing a lot of horses in a quick amount of time and getting out of perfectionistic mode. When you start doing that, you have so much more fun, and you realize also that the more you do, the better that you get. So come play with me on drawing these horses. You can use any reference photo that you have. For the purposes of today, I am using a photo that I downloaded off of pixabay.com. They're free photos, so you can run over there and use that. I'm going to show you a quick shot of that photo here, but you can use any reference photo that you have available of a horse head. It's nice to get different angles and go from there, but for the purposes of this channel, we're going to use a variety of different reference photos, but also eventually the whole goal of this channel is going to be not just photos that we can have out of books, which is great, but also going out in nature and finding horses. So we're going to draw live horses eventually and get some quick sketches in that way. Today, however, we're doing some sketching indoors, and I'm going to use a nice fresh piece of newsprint paper, and we're going to see if we can get a little closer in here so that you can get a view. So when I'm starting out a picture, and I am going to draw this one in just a little bit closer, you want to take a look at your reference photo more than you are looking at what you're drawing here initially. So I'm looking at simple shapes, and I'm looking at big shapes. So I'm going towards big shapes and then going to little ones, and then we can work into the details. So again, we're thinking of the horse as shapes and lines, a three-dimensional shape, and allow it to be messy and explorative, because if you don't, especially when you're first getting started, we get too stuck in this perfectionistic mode. So have fun, make mistakes, it's how we learn, and you'll get better as you practice. So come along, join me here. All right, we're gonna start out with, I'm gonna use a long piece, and I might snap this off at any given time just to make it easier. But sometimes, so that we don't get too focused on detail, we're gonna start out a little bit longer down the vine. If you're drawing with a pencil or pen, you can do the same thing. So here, I'm looking at my photo, and I'm gonna draw a little bit darker than I normally would. But I'm drawing a circle for the head. And then I'm gonna come down here, and I'm looking at the angle of the photo. And so I'm gonna come down here into this angle, and I'm gonna do the muzzle. From there, I'm just gonna come in here and give it another angle. So I'm connecting those two circles together. From here, I'm just gonna come around and arch over the neck. So we've got the basics going. And even here, I can see that's a little bit of an arch, so I can go back and erase it with my finger. I can come back in here and do a little bit lesser. Then I can come in here underneath the chin and go from here. Now from here, I can go a little bit into some of the cheekbone here and then underneath. Now I can see just from my angle that I need to pick up that angle just a little bit so I can look back. One of the great things about drawing with an easel anyways, and you can do this on a flat surface, is taking a step back gives you, I think, a little bit of a fresher view, and sometimes taking a break from your picture too, but we're just getting started, so we want to continue on. So here, I'm just going to come in, and I'm going to draw that nose, and then I'm going to come up, and I'm seeing this beautiful ear, and this is a beautiful, looks like an Arabian horse for those of you who are familiar with Arabians. They have beautiful, well-chiseled faces, different from a lot of other breeds of horses in the shape of their face. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to just come in here. Now I can see that ear is a little bit wonky and big, and that's okay. The nice thing about where we're at right here is we can come in and erase lines. See how we can come in and do a little bit of smudging, okay? Now, I am going to come in. I'm just going to draw a simple little ear here, and then the back ear is in the background. I'm just going to come up here and do another. I'm coming up, and I'm going to get this forelock in here. I'm not going to get too detailed with it yet. Now, because this is an Arabian, they have a little bit of a dished face, which means their face, the front of their bones up here on the top, kind of dish in a little bit. I'm going to come over and around, and then I see this nostril here towards the front. I'm always looking to see how far away things are from the surface of the paper. So I'm looking around and looking at simple shapes and seeing where we're at. And again, this one is going to come under because its neck is a little bit stretched out. We've got the basics for doing a head here. I can see that jawbone is coming up a little bit further, and I'm going to just angle this. Now I'm going to snap this, boop, so I can get a little bit more, a closer feel here. I'm going to come up and around, and I'm going to come in under here for the bottom of that lip, and then I'm going to create a line here for the mouth and come up. I can see that the nose is up a little bit higher, so I'm going to do a shape here. All right, we're going to come back down here, and then we're going to draw an eye in here. Now we're just drawing a circle a little bit larger, and then I'm going to come in and do the eyelid. And there's some beautiful eyelashes here, and I'm just going to create some quick lines here. Come underneath. Okay, how are we doing? Are we staying along? Super easy to do. Might shorten that up here just a little bit. So here we go. And then we're coming in here. I'm going to shorten this up a little bit. I can see off my reference photo that it's a little bit shorter. But now that's coming together. That's starting to come together. I'm going to darken that up. I don't see any highlights there as of yet, but I'm just going to leave that top portion open for the eyelashes. So this really is a beginner start. And remember, this isn't about perfection. It's just about getting simple shapes, bringing it together. Now, if I want, I can clean up that ear just a little bit. I've got that simple shape in place. I can see from the eye here and looking at my reference photo that it's right in front of that back ear. So I'm going to clean up that ear just a little bit, bring in a line that indicates that ear, a little bit smaller so you can see where that's going. I'm going to shorten up this ear here a little bit more as well, and we're going to draw that in and bring it in. So then from here, I'm going to bring in all this beautiful mane that's swept up and above. And I'm not going to get, like, again, too much detail, but that's a great start to beginner horse for a head. All right, so we want to bring a little bit of mane. We want to do some smudging. We can do a little bit of smudging, and we can bring in some beautiful ripples here, and we don't have to draw every detail in. We're just going to let the eye fill in some of those other parts. And again, I'm going to darken that up a little bit. And if you have a kneaded eraser, you can come in and pull out some of those eyelashes here. But for now, that's a great start for beginner horse. And I'm taking a look back. I can see that that neck's just a little thick. So I'm going to draw this under, and I can see how the neck comes in. And we're going to come up here. Great start for your horses. All right, thanks for joining me. Till next time, draw, draw, draw. Progress over perfection. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.